Welcome to the season finale of the Statesman Review, where we summarize the biggest news stories from this week's issue of the Indiana Statesman. As always, I'm your host, Connor Brownfield. We begin today with reductions to Indiana State University's operating budget. In a video announcement made on Tuesday afternoon, University President Mike Goddard announced several changes that Indiana State will have to make in response to the budget approved by the Indiana General Assembly last week. The impacts of the new budget include, but are not limited to, the loss of almost $4 million from the university's operating budget, the indefinite delay of planned renovations to Homestead Hall and Root Hall, and an inability to provide salary increases to campus employees. Goddard also spoke about new legislation that provides a minimum requirement for the number of students that must graduate from an academic program for it to receive funding. Goddard said the university will engage in a, quote, thoughtful appeal process to hopefully save the Indiana State programs that are endangered as a result. Moving on to Allusions, the Indiana State University Creative Writing Journal, which will have its launch party in the Cunningham Memorial Library events area tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. Allusions is a collection of work by students at Indiana State and features both creative writing and visual arts. Allusions contributors come from all majors on campus. Tonight's launch party will include readings from some of the writers featured in Allusions, as well as displays of the included visual art. Allusions co-editor-in-chief Carrie McKinney said this year's edition of the journal is a, quote, diverse and thought-provoking collection. We end today with a departure from our usual format. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, today's episode is the last episode of the Statesman Review until students return to campus in the fall. With that in mind, I'd like to devote our last story to thanking some people that the Statesman Review could not operate without. First, our fantastic social media expert Nicole Yeoman, who posts these videos every week. Second, Brandon Ulrich and CJ Cooper, the hosts of the Statesman's other video series, who have done tremendous work all year. And special congratulations to CJ, who graduates next week. Third, the Statesman's faculty supervisor Landon Kleindorfer, who does most of the recording and technical support for these videos. And finally, to you, the viewers, thank you for watching, whether this was your first episode or you watch every week. Your support of student media and local media means a great deal to us. Until we see each other again, more great stories that we didn't have time for in today's video can be found in this week's issue of the Indiana Statesman. Pick up a copy and be sure to visit our website at indianastatesman.com. Also, be sure to follow our social media pages listed below, because our terrific social media team is putting out some great content. In the meantime, thank you for joining me on the Statesman Review. I'm Connor Brownfield. Take it easy.